Not even gonna give y'all a warning. It is what it is. Tracy, just to be clear, I never intended to fall in love with him. He never lied to me about your presence, just told me you were rarely ever present, and that was enough for me. Our affair was never about you. It was about me and my insecurities that led me to believe that I could be with a man who snuck his wedding vows underneath his tongue. Believe me, I never meant to fall in love with him. We were supposed to be a one night stand that happened every other weekend. We were supposed to only remove our clothes, but he undressed my soul. I stood naked in my truth with him. He saw my scars and it didn't faze him. He traced each line of each keloid line, and slowly his skin started to melt into mine. I couldn't tell where I finished and where he began. I swear I never meant to fall for him. See, I'm toxic. I have a history of destroying everything that crosses my path. The good in me told me to leave him alone, but my demons told me to go on. They told me I couldn't break him because he was strong, but yet I left him shattered. Believe it or not, I meant well. This was never about you. I knew of your existence, I knew your name, and that you birthed two kids for him. I even managed to find a picture of your face, and I could almost see the stains of late night fights on your lips. I'm sorry. I'm not apologizing for falling in love with your husband because an apology will only further insult you. I'm sorry for finding him broken and destroying him. I never planned to ask him to leave you. We had no future. We just kept fucking hoping to erase the memories of our past. I thought I would be able to walk away once we pulled up our pants, paid our motel fee, and drove our separate ways, but my mind kept drifting back to him. I have never been one to apologize, but I'm sorry. I never meant to hurt him. I never meant to love him and leave him. Never meant to find him and lose him. We weren't supposed to stay on the phone for hours. He wasn't supposed to make me laugh when crying could have been easier. Tracy, I made no vows to you. I promised you nothing on the day of your wedding. I never knew you. But I owe you an apology. I'm sorry for not being able to resist the wrinkle in his smile, the gray in his beard, the echo in his laughter. I'm writing you to ask that you watch over him while he mends the pieces of him that he would never admit I broke the day I decided to walk away from us. Not because I was over him, not because I unloved him, not because I finally respected your vows, but because I finally realized loving him was slowly killing me. Falling in love with your husband was my choice of suicide. All is fear and lust and a fear, but all becomes scary when the dust settles and the love becomes clear. He became scared. Built a wall around him I couldn't climb. We would make love until I nearly cried, but he couldn't tell me he loved me. I needed to hear it. The deeper I felt, the harder it became. Though I never once doubted he cared for me, I got tired of loving a man that I could not reach. For every brick I took down, he rebuilt. I have a history of being toxic, but I'm ready to live outside of my own smoke. Please don't think of me as a home wrecker. Your floors were creaking before I arrived. But that doesn't justify the choice I made, but that's a poem for another time. This is the poem that I'll slide into his pants the last time we were together. I hope you find it and understand that I found your man broken. I was naive enough to think that he could fix me. If you find any new scars on him, I take full accountability. Sincerely, the other women. This is a second piece to redeem myself. To the man brave enough to love me, I may hurt you. And I promise I won't mean to, but chances are I may be no good for you because most days it feels like there's no peace left in me, just pieces left of me, sharp edges I never tended to. Chances are I will hurt you, stand by and watch you bleed, and the truth is I don't mean to. But how can I mend you when I am broken? How can I defend you when I am victim? Surely I will hurt you. The voices in my head would tell me to destroy us. They would convince me that you deserve better. Very often I play the villain in my own story. My cape is not for saving, it's for fleeing. I will leave you, watch you starve as I give you only bits of myself. I would trace the names of all the boys who hurt me into the hollow space in your ribs. Men who left me to believe that I would never be enough for you, and chances are I will try to. I write you this poem as a disclaimer, a warning to tread lightly in hopes that you will still choose me, that you will see my cracks and still choose me. You will see the risk in loving me and still take it. You will see my pieces and still want me. You will see my demons and still pray for me. You will see my sins and still love me wholly. You will sense my battle and still fight for me. To the man brave enough to love me, I hope you still want me, even in the seasons when I'm not so warm, When I'm dark and have no brightness to offer, when I'm bitter and have no sweetness left to me, I hope you still find beauty in me. When I am in my coldest season, I hope you remember the warmth in me. I hope you think of me like a rainstorm. Remember that there's a rainbow after my downpours. Remember my smile, it feels like spring. I won't be fall forever. I hope you remember I come in shades. And on my darkest days, I hope you remember that some nights the moon is only just a crescent. I hope you wait for me to return to my fullest. I hope you wait for my brighter days. To the man brave enough to love me, please know I have prayed for you. Before even hearing your voice or knowing your name, I believed in you. I know my Lord creates in the most beautiful way, so I ask him to create you. I pray that your heart be pure and spacious, because I come with baggage, history, and memories of the places I have been, scars and trophies from the battles I have won. Please know that I have fought for you. I have prayed for you. I pray that your voice be gentle and your smile be sweet. I pray that your patience be thick and your forgiveness run deep. I prayed for you, but most importantly, I prayed for me. May Allah heal the May Allah heal the wounds that intimidates and paralyze me. May I become enough for you to find home in me. If the world shall plan against you, may I be secure enough to be your safe haven. And on days when I am insist on fighting by myself and keeping my guard up, may I surrender to you. May I trust that I am in no danger with you. May I be enough for you. Leave no room for you to ever need more. May I nourish you. Provide you with replicas of yourself. May I support you. See your dreams as though they were mine. To the man brave enough to love me, please know I will love you unapologetically. There will be no scent of sin on our skins. I will hold you. Rest your head on the bed of stretch marks on my belly. Ingest me, digest me, learn all my marks that have no beauty in them. You will forgive me. Trust that I am holy, though you found me empty. Know that can offer you plenty. I will love you in the morning sunlight. I won't hide you. I will make up. I will wake up for tahajjud for you. Wake up in the third half of the night. Find my prayer mat in the dark and pray for you. Ask Allah to reunite us in the hollow heavens and the hollow halls of heaven. This world will not be enough for us. I will give you my pieces. Find my peace in you. I will trust you. Remove every brick from the wall that protects me and build a home with you. Create room behind your ribs so my kids will have a place to live in the depths of your heart. Remove the step out of father. Love them as though they were your own. Call them your soulmates. I will tell you about my demons, so if you ever see them, you know that I am trying, I am fighting. And on days when you come home and it seems like I am losing, you will be patient with me. And when I ask for you to wait on the other side, you will say you much rather wait beside me. You will guide me. And if ever we were to get lost, we will become an island, surround ourselves with holy water. So on the days that it feels like we are drowning, there is still blessing in our suffering. To the man brave enough to love me, please know I have been praying for us. May I be your friend, your companion, your partner, your lover. Our love will be a beautiful testimony of God's blessing and our bravery.
Hello, Cam. Thank you so much for joining us again today
Thanks for
for
having
the
me.
for the after the release craft interview. You are a part of the third cohort, but you're also a part of the first because your storytelling ability is that good. Your words are that sharp. Your pen is truly that surgical. So we're very, very happy to have you as a part of our community, but also just we can't wait for folks to hear this again. You've dropped so many gems, and thank you for sharing it with
Thank
us
you.
and
Thank you for having
our
me. It's always a
space.
pleasure.
Yes, Cam. So, as you know, we kicked off our last interview. We asked this question: how do you identify creatively? Storyteller, writer, poet. I believe, I can't actually remember what you said. I know that you have this a history with poetry, with
Poetry.
spoken word,
hmm
but what title feels good to you these days?
Um, I think I have always thought of myself as a poet. And recently, when I started joining the show and sharing my stories, and even after my shows, every time I go up and I perform, people come up to me and tell me that I have a storytelling voice. So I
Mm,
think I'm in between both because when I go to
mhm.
slams, I don't sound like most people that slam. I don't have like the same energy. I come with something different, and I think it is more of like a storytelling. So I'm in between
Yeah,
both, honestly.
Yeah,
yeah,
it shows because there's still, there's something so still punchy about
Mm,
your work and line by line, but it's still like you can see the entire thing. It's almost like you're
totally.
building this thing. And I think with a lot of slam poetry, it is just like you feel the transience. It's like, okay, it's a punchy line, but then it disappears. With yours, like we're watching a house being built in real time, so it's fascinating to see.
Thank
Uh,
you.
with these specific pieces, which are To the Wife and To the Man Brave Enough to Love Me, curious as to what you feel like the anatomy of both of these stories are. Like, because, we asked you last time, what is the anatomy of a good story? If you had to kind of break down what the anatomy of To the Wife is in comparison of To the Man Brave Enough to Love Me, what would you say?
I think between both of them are a letter to someone.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them is a conversation that I'm having with someone. To the wife, I wanted to tell the story, and I knew that I had to find a way to tell it in which I could also, it's like a sneaking in into a conversation. Like the audience is sitting back and they're listening to my conversation. I knew I had to put someone in front of me to talk to and able to tell the story. So to the wife, that's what I had in mind. I had to pick someone. There's three people in the story, and I'm like, who do I want to talk to? Most of my pieces, I'm probably talking to myself. I could talk to the guy, but in this piece, I'm like, I'm gonna talk to the wife. I wanted to find a different perspective to tell a very unique story. And for The Man Brave Enough to Love Me, once again, it's a letter to someone. And actually, fun fact, this poem is like about four different poems put together. None of them were, it was not written in one sitting. It wasn't written in 1 year. And if you listen to the poem, the beginning of it is like, I'm in a really different space. I'm telling you about all the flaws in me. And towards the end of the poem, I've accepted my flaws and I'm telling you of all the good things that you're going to get from me. And I had to get to that stage through therapy, through experiences. And when I originally decided to put this piece together, I'm like, to any guy that's going to love me, he has to know my past. He has to know where I'm coming from.
Mm.
He has to know what there is to look forward to. He has to know like the struggles. So I went ahead and I took all my pieces that I felt like presented those sides of me and I put them together. So they're both letters to someone. They're both different stages of my life, and I think that's what it is.
Wow. So just to clarify, the the piece To the Man Brave Enough to Love Me, that existed in individual poems in other
Yeah.
forms, or these were just
Every
words you had written? Okay. Mm-hmm.
They're different poems. Every time I say to the man brave enough to love me, I'm starting a new poem. So if you
Wow.
go back into the poem, if you look at the part where it says to the man brave enough to love me, it's the start of a new poem. It's probably a different, probably months before the or after the other poem, probably years. But every time I say to the
Mm.
man brave enough to love me and I start talking, it's a whole different poem. So you could actually separate each of them and you'll have a poem
Whoa.
within itself.
Wow.
Whoa. Yeah. Mind blown.
Yeah.
Mind
Yeah. So
blown. Now I'm going back to the piece in my head.
yeah,
But go
because I
ahead.
was like,
Go ahead.
how can I was like, all of these poems, they're talking to someone, but how can I connect them all and make it make sense? And then that's when I decided to put the man brave enough to love me, and
I
then
like.
I go into the
Mhm.
story. Yeah,
Oh.
That became like the
Wow.
bridge. That's very cool.
exactly.
Wow.
I wonder if there is a way, if you could give any advice as to how, I don't just want to say how to do that, but what is that process? What does that look like for you, Cam, of like beginning? Because I think a lot of people, I know I struggle with it. I can't um, speak for Glenn, but I think that like it feels like you have to finish something. You know what I mean? Like when you start something, it's like, okay, I don't know what I'm gonna do with
Mm.
this, but I think I leave it on the shelf for far too
Mm.
long. What does are you comfortable with starting something and then being like, hey, I know this might be a piece in something later, I might use it later. What is that process like for you?
Oh, that's I think I said this the last time. That's how I write. I rarely do I sit down and write and finish the piece. And I feel like when I force it, it's not authentic. Like I could be in the shower and a line would come to me and then I'll put it down. Before when I started writing, I felt like I had to finish the piece. And if I couldn't think of anything, then the piece would never get finished or I would never even start it. So I have, if you go into my notebook, I have poems that are just 3 lines that I probably
What was
wrote
your game?
3 years ago, and I'll wait for like an opportunity. For example, when they put out a prompt, and I'm like, oh, I got 3 lines for that, and then I'll build up from there. It looks like, yeah,
Cam,
and then I'll build up from
you there?
there.
Oh,
We're back.
I think so. I think we're back. Yes.
yes, we're back. Yes, we're back.
Okay.
We're back.
And then I think what I would say is, even if it's a word, just put it down. Put it down, put it on the back. For me, it has to feel authentic. But when I force it, I'm like, where's this going? I have a piece right now that I've been trying to write for about a year now. And every few days, I'll go back to it. If I'm on the train, I'll try to see if I can write it. And if I can't, I'll walk away from it. And I know that there'll come a day
Mm.
where I will finally finish it. I just need either motivation. I need somebody to put up a prompt or something like that. And then I'll go ahead and finish it. But I think that every word matters. I don't care if it's 3 words, write it down and
Ooh.
then just leave it there. For example, I have a piece, what is it called? And it's one line. It's something like they say sins between worshiper and the Lord should not be revealed. And it's sitting there, and every few days I try to go back to it. I can't make anything out of it, but I know that eventually I will be able to finish it. So I just say,
Mm-hmm.
whatever you have, just write it. Just write it. Everything starts as a seed, and you can water it slowly. You do not need to finish it in one sitting. It doesn't need to be
Yes.
1 year. It would eventually finish itself. And maybe it's just a story that hasn't unfolded yet, and you're just writing it down
We lost you
slowly.
again, Cam.
I know that was about to be a line.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, damn.
Can you hear us?
This is like a long
Nope.
one.
This is
The other one came back quick. Oh,
oh. Yep. Oh.
I'm here.
I think you're back.
hello?
Cam.
Yes.
Okay. Oh.
Oh,
Okay. Cam done.
she's
Cam done.
not.
No. Okay. Oh. Cam.
Okay, wait.
Oh, Cam, you're back. Okay.
I'm back.
And
Is it me? Is it my connection?
I think so.
I think it
Okay.
might be,
I
but
could put
it's
on.
sounding fine now.
Okay.
You said you were gonna put on.
I could turn off my
Oh,
Wi-Fi. I feel like my regular internet is stronger.
But it's good. It would be good to have your video.
yeah, it would be great to. If you turn on video, we could try it. We could try it one more time.
Okay.
Cam.
So I turned off the
Yeah, because we
Wi-Fi,
could.
but I'm just using my phone internet.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And then just put your video back on. You can.
Yes.
Oh, the video is on my side.
We
Is
can't
it?
see
Okay.
you.
It's off on ours
Really?
for
It
some
says
reason.
74%
Yeah.
on my end though.
That's
Oh
so
yeah,
weird.
you're not.
Yeah,
It's,
we
well, the
can't.
upload is not. How do I?
Yeah.
You're,
Here.
you're,
Oh,
okay,
there we
now
go.
your video's
You're
on.
back.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Perfect.
cool.
You were saying. Go ahead, G.
Oh well, I think you
Oh
were
yeah.
saying that it's just no matter if it's just one line, everything is a seed. I had a really
Everything is.
small like logistical question, but how do you like file your work so that you remember to come back to it? I've been finding things in old books, and I'm like, yo, this was fire. What is this? Could be like from years ago, you know?
I write a lot of my things in my phone, or I have a
Mm-hmm.
drive. I also have all my journals sitting there, so anytime I go back to it, I can find it. I never actually go seeking it. Like every now and then, I'm like, let me look at some of my old pieces, and it's so interesting when I wrote something like when I was maybe 21, and then I read it at a new age, I'm like, what was I saying? Or I'm like, oh, that was really good. So to add my maturity and my growth to an old piece that I started at like 20 something, it feels so good. Like I get this
Mm.
special high from it. Like it's like getting in touch with my 25-year-old self again at the age of 30 or whatever age I am, and seeing how can I continue to tell this story without the audience even knowing that it's in a different phase or it's a different person.
Mm-hmm.
That,
Yeah, because you did that so seamlessly
whew.
into the
Yeah,
And
movie.
I
That
love
was
the
it's
amazing.
so
challenge.
it's so inspirational, I think, because it is like I think we're so used to being like, oh, that's not me anymore, so I'm not going to use
Mm-hmm.
this. Where it's like I think the beauty of your work, and even when you read it, it's like we're traveling with you through this time, even though it's seamless. There's something about it of where we're like, why is it hitting hitting every aspect of it feels like who we are right now, and it's because there's these building blocks. So it's really inspirational, I think, that you're like, I wrote it, that my 21-year-old self, I'm adding onto it, and we're
Yeah.
making this thing together,
Mm-hmm.
versus like, that's not me anymore, I'm throwing it away, I'm shelving it, and I have to start something new. So I love that. I love that seed analogy.
Yeah, like I don't know if you remember the piece I wrote to my mom in the middle of the poem. I said I almost didn't finish this poem. Like I
Yes.
literally wrote it. Yeah.
Yes.
Because it's so true. I'm like, I've almost didn't finish it because I couldn't figure out where to take it. And then I came back, I'm like, I'm just gonna admit that I just didn't almost finish this poem and just put it in there. It doesn't matter if it
Mm-hmm.
rhymes. And I think that's when I come away from the poet part of my side and go into the storytelling. Because it's okay to tell even how the story developed within your story.
Yeah, to have that candor. You're like
Yeah.
really talking directly to either the audience or in this case the person that you're dedicating it to. It
Directing
just
it.
clicked for
Yes.
me that you were writing to your mother in the previous piece, and I really like that as a device. You mentioned earlier, just being able to have someone to visualize, to direct the words to.
Yeah. And I also use that because for a long time I struggled to find my identity, and I always try to please the audience. And I even do this when I go to open mics. I don't figure out what piece I'm gonna perform until I get there because I like scope out the audience. If it's a younger age group, if it's a young audience, then I figure out what piece I'll do. If it's like the older audience, then I'll figure out what piece I do. But then as a writer, you lose the sense of who you are because you're trying to please everyone. So when I select one person that I'm talking to, I'm like, I'm talking to the wife in this piece. This is our conversation. I'm talking to my mom in this piece. I'm talking to the man that's gonna love me in this piece. I don't lose sight of what the message is and what tone I want to use in that piece. Otherwise, I know myself. I'll change the tone up in the middle of the poem or the story because I'm like, maybe the younger group is gonna relate to this, or maybe the older group. But once I select who I'm talking to, we're carrying that out, and that helps me finish my pieces.
Oh wow.
Oh, this is fantastic advice.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it's great advice. And I remember you saying to that note that your relationship with truth telling, because we asked you like, what is the function of truth in your work? Because it is so for the to the wife, like it is so, I think, raw and truthful that if you aren't addressing the wife, you're the discomfort that people are sitting in, but also just the awe that they're sitting in because of how you're telling it. And you don't know whether to feel bad for the wife or to be rooting for you, or to, like, you don't know what is happening here, or what side you're on. I think that's from the pace to the cadence to the rhythm to the verbiage that you're using. Is it still kind of like based on a true story for you? Is it one of those things where you're like, okay, like I'm writing and you don't know it's me, or you don't know who I'm talking about? Or is it one of those things where you're like, this is a direct address and
Yeah.
I'm not fearful of that being the case?
Yeah, so for me, when I write, it's very healing. There are things that I go through that until I write about it, I can't get over it. And when I write about it, it's like, okay, I've received closure from it. And a lot of my pieces are like that. I have a piece about female circumcision in the African community, and this is one of those pieces where, and it's really hard for me to share with people because I'm always afraid of how I'm going to be judged. So when I get up on stage, I go into this like, this is a character. Like, I don't know, like when I get up on stage and I get off stage, people say I'm two different people because in person I'm very nervous. I'm very socially awkward, but I get to write my truth and tell it, but I can't tell it through myself. So I don't know if I'm really answering the question. The piece itself is true, but the person who's reading it when I'm on stage, I have to like leave my body, and I
Yeah.
have to just tell the story as if it's someone else's story, or it will never get shared. To the wife, this is the second time I've ever shared it on a platform. The first time I shared it at a slam, and the audience, just like you said, didn't know if they should ooh ah me. So, but then
Yes.
I've like, this is my truth. I'm like, this is my truth. Like I'm like,
Yes.
I've healed from it. I had to do
Right.
something, and when I get off that stage, I hold on to the fact that I could be like, that wasn't me. That was just a story, and I still hold on to that. And that's how I
That
think that's how I build up the courage to get up there. Fun fact: um, in the audience was a hinge date, and this was the second time that we had met. And so the first time we met, the second time he was like, "Oh, when should we meet up?" And I said, "I have a storytelling to go to." And he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna come and support you." And in my head, I kept going, "Should I give him a disclaimer about being the wife? Like, should I say something? Because this is the second impression he's gonna get of me." And I told myself, I don't owe anyone an explanation for my art.
No, you
I was
Nope.
don't.
like, it was so awkward walking to the train station, but it was just like, I don't owe anyone any explanation. And I think it helps me stay true to who I am. And I love that I can stay true to who I am and then also like hide behind my art. And I think that's
Yeah,
the beauty of being a storyteller. Like you can choose the character. Like for example, you write the whole story. All the characters you've made them up, but you can choose which character you most relate to or which character you're gonna play the part of.
Hmm.
So
hmm
for all he knew, I could have been the other wife. I could have been. It could have been the side chick
True.
talking to me.
Ooh,
It could have been the letter that I received. So
You're
you really,
right.
if the story is true, but what perspective am I coming from? You would never know.
very much so.
Yeah, I mean, you rendered it with so much nuance and heart that, I mean, I don't think there's any way to judge you through it, to be quite honest. Like,
I agree.
you look at, I think that it's just such a testament to just the complicated nature of relationships, of being alive, of wanting affection, of needing affection, of craving it, of just connection happening,
Yeah.
and it being outside of our control. Like it's just the most human thing.
Yeah, and when
It
you
Yeah.
guys said that
is.
the theme was love, there's like 10 poems I could have picked out. But I was like,
Mm,
everyone's gonna do that. Everyone's gonna say
Yes.
love is gushy. Everyone's gonna say love is great. And I'm like, love is messy. Love can
right.
be, it can be messy at times. And I wanted to bring that side. I was like, what is everyone gonna do? I could have done a different love poem. I could have did a romance piece, but I'm like, I think that this is the time to show a different side of love. If you ever put up a theme, I'm always gonna look for a different way. Like I'm gonna be like, what are people not gonna talk about? That's what I want
Mm,
to talk about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what we needed. Glenn and I screamed when
yes.
we do our little listening, our individual listening. We're like, yo, Cam came with insanity on this. So it's like we appreciate just you flip it on its head, but only masterful writers, like only people that like truly understand the craft can inject this much nuance in what is considered a taboo topic. But
Yeah.
it's like, yo, somebody in the audience is experiencing this right now,
Mm-hmm.
probably more than
Yeah.
one. Who knows what character they're embodying, like you
Exactly.
said,
Hmm.
but it's like, yeah, I'm shining a light on this thing that we all know exists, whether it's you're experiencing it or your mother is experiencing it or your father or whoever. um this is a part of love. It's not all rainbows and butterflies. So
Yeah.
we really appreciate that ode to, I think it was an ode to the wife, but also, the second piece is an ode to yourself.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
masterful work.
Thank you.
Yeah. Just in
Yeah,
awe.
we're just shooting it with you right now, because we're like, we have specific questions about this. So, uh, we touched on practice, we touched on anatomy. Really, is there anything that you're doing now to further define your voice in any way,
Mm,
shape, or form? We know you write, we know what the practice looks like, but I think we're forever trying to mold this thing, this craft, this art that we partake in. Is it something that you're doing of like, oh, I'm reading, more, or I'm reading
Mhm.
less, or I'm consuming these things? What is shaping your and defining your voice? Continue to evolve.
I've been going to more open mics. I've been going to more like storytelling events, not workshops. I did one workshop the other week because I wanted to start writing more, but seeing other people art is very motivating to me. Seeing other people, and every now and then I take a break from it because like I say, I go through this identity thing where if I go to too many, I start to try to take shape of whatever I'm seeing and it doesn't feel real to me, but so it's been a while since I've been out there, but I've been going to more of these events and just surrounding myself with creative people and just having these conversations with I want to start going to more workshops. And I think the reason why I shy away from workshops is because I always wonder like, will I fit in? The
mm,
Mm.
last workshop I went to was really like storytelling. And it was like they'll give you an image, for example, a ball bouncing on the court and you have to pick it up from there and just write. And I stood staring at my paper for so long. I'm like, what do I do with this? And then when I heard everyone else's pieces, I was like, I overthought it. And I went, and
Mm.
then I was able to go back and write it. So just being surrounded by other people and seeing how they view things has been really helpful for me. And I want to do more of that this summer.
Yeah, for sure. Wow, I'm so curious what you ended up writing
I know
off of that prompt.
about the
Because I was
ball.
just sitting here like, what would I write? A ball bouncing on a court. But you know what else I wonder is if, because you a lot of your work is so personal, so was that prompt just like a bit
Mm.
challenging off the rip?
Yeah.
Because it's like, how
Yeah.
do I connect to this image?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. Now that you're saying it out loud, I think that is what it was. I think that a lot of my pieces are things that I've experienced. And this was like, how do you put this into something that you experienced? So I think even just challenging myself to step out
Uh-huh.
of what I'm used to may be very helpful to me as a writer.
Yeah, using the imagination
Yeah,
more and more.
I think so.
Definitely. Would you ever consider teaching a workshop, Cam?
That's a good question. Now that you asked,
Yeah, a poetry workshop,
And what
and I
would it
feel
be
like it could
on?
be infused.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. What would?
I don't know. That's a great question. I think I would have to go to more workshops so I can see like what they usually do. I'm hoping to make it to one of your workshops,
Yes.
but just to see what's going on and then see like what can I bring, because I don't want to just go to a workshop. I want to see what can I teach. Like what am I doing well that I would love to teach. And as a poet or as a storyteller, it's really hard to see our like where our strengths are. Or personally, me, because I don't write full time. So it's hard for me to go up and teach someone how to write when I'm not even doing it full time. But I would like to discover like what areas am I strong in when I do write, and just build from
Mm.
that and see if I can share anything from there. So it is something that I would be open to doing in the future once I've identified what can I give, like what would be useful for me to teach.
Hmm. We could come up with some things for you.
I mean, honestly, we could.
I just was running through the
That would
list. I was
not.
like,
Cam.
bold
Writing full
lines.
time has
Yeah.
nothing to do with what you could teach. Truly, like
Yeah.
bar for bar, line for line. One of the illest. I mean, I literally was out to dinner with a couple that my husband and I were out to dinner with a couple that came to the show, and they were quoting some of your some of your poetry. They were
Really?
quoting some of the
Yes.
story. Yeah. That's how I think impactful and punchy and memorable and visceral the
Yeah.
lines from the work were. So
Thank you.
we
And I
can't
love
thank you.
like when I see the audience, even your parents came up to me, Glenn, and they were like,
Really?
I love that piece. And I'm a little shout like, you like that?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, what piece you talking about? So I'm always like, it always feels good to see the different people that come up to me and say that they like the piece. Because like when I'm writing this piece, I'm thinking of only one person. It's very selfish. I'm just like because I have to be selfish in my writing. Because like I
Mhm.
said, I'm a people pleaser by nature, and I'm like, if I try to please everyone, this piece will not get written. So in this moment, I give myself full permission to be selfish. This is a story that I want to get out. So I just have to say to myself, it's okay if you don't understand. Like the piece to my mom, I put my language in it, and I went back and forth like, but who's gonna be able to understand this? And then I was like, it's okay if they don't. So I'm always surprised when people come and say this resonated for me, and
Mhm.
it didn't resonate from where I was intentionally like bringing it out from. They found some way to connect to the piece, or they just enjoyed it. They was there for the entertainment.
And
They
that's
they
it.
just enjoyed the story behind it, and that always reminds me that you don't have to write for everyone. You can just write for yourself, and whoever it fits will enjoy it, and that's okay. So I love seeing like all the different ages and people that come up to me. Even your husband came up to me. He was like,
Oh,
you're a
yes.
really great writer. And I was like, well, thank you. Like it feels really great. So it's like men, women, young people, people
Yes.
in Africa. It's always great to see.
I think, yeah, if you're writing with so much truth and heart, it's going to connect with people regardless,
It is.
Yeah.
regardless
Yeah.
of how specific it is.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Thank you.
Cam, we have one more question left for you today. So you know how this goes as well. It's the wild card
Okay.
from the conversation deck that we have, the Alti Human deck. specifically dedicated to love, and
Mhm.
there's numbers 1 through 87, right?
Okay.
Yes. Uh huh.
87. So pick a number, any number.
16.
Okay. Give me one moment while I put
I heard the clicking and the
16.
clacking.
How do you deal with unrequited love?
Oh, my therapist will love this. Wow. I think for me, I listened to a podcast and I don't remember exactly who it was, but she said sometimes people aren't picking up what you're putting down. And I just have to continuously tell myself that, like, because a lot of times when we get rejected, especially me, you sit there like making this list of like, what happened? What did I do? And I just been moving from a space of I am not one size fit all. And that's okay. I am not I am not everyone's cup of tea. I am not the flavor that everyone enjoys, and that's okay. And just telling myself that that's okay. Um and that's just it. Just reminding myself that someone out there is going to appreciate or enjoy who I am just as I am, but it doesn't mean for me to stop trying to like I don't know, I guess stop trying to connect. Cuz that's the
Right.
reason why we don't connect is our fear of rejection. And that's probably the reason why we don't put ourselves out there a lot of times because we're so fearful of being rejected. Um, but yeah, I just tell myself it's okay. Someone else, what someone else don't want, someone else will.
Hmm.
Just keep going that way.
Keep the faith alive.
That part. That
Beautiful.
part.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Cam,
Cam.
thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Over and over. We will always look forward to a submission from you for any theme. Thank you for being a part of our community again.
Thank you.
Again, it's a dream for Glenn and I to have folks of your talent level a part of Craft and Release. So
Oh, I
appreciate
always
you,
enjoy
Cam.
myself. Thank you guys for even creating this space where we can come as we are. And it feels really great. I appreciate it.
Oh, lots of love
Thank
to
you,
you, Cam.